Hi, my name's Les Ansley and this is my wife Paula, and we are the makers of Indlovu Gin, and we're at the moment sitting in Plessis private game reserve, and we're about to go and collect some elephant dung for our gin.
So whose idea was it to start making gin from elephant dung? It's such a novel idea.
So that would be Paula's idea.
Yes, that was mine. Oh yes, it was a complete light bulb moment. I had been in Kenya with my mother some months previous, and we did some game reserves and drives. And every night we were around the waterhole and finishing the evening with a gin and tonic, watching the elephants drinking, and it was just something that resonated with me. Then we came back down to Cape Town, and the children had never been on a game reserve because we just moved back to South Africa after about 15 years in the UK. And the guide here took us on a game drive, and then we did a walk, and he was explaining to us with the dung that the elephants only digest about 30% of what they eat, and the rest of it goes down to the floor. Their whole reason for being is to clear the bush, basically, so they're very poor energy extractors. And then all the leaves, all the bark from the trees just goes down to the bush floor, really. And what would really happen was the light bulb moment was that I was asleep. Woke up, was just dozing through reports, and I was sleeping probably about Kenya and Plessis, and then all of a sudden I somehow managed to join the dots and woke Les up and said, I've had a brilliant idea. Well, I think it was a brilliant idea. We could make elephant dung gin. And he looked at me and he just went, okay, explore. And I think went back to sleep.
Yeah.
But I think if he hadn't have believed in me at that time and given me the encouragement, then I don't think the gin would ever have come about.
So Les, for you, when you heard this crazy idea to a normal person, let's make gin from elephant dung, what went through your head at that point?
I'm quite used to Paula's crazy ideas. She's a very creative person, and she often comes up with these way out ideas, and they usually have substance to them. And so, I try never to just dismiss them out of hand, and this one was much the same. It was early in the morning, and it was just a case of, okay, let's keep that in mind, let's explore it, and let's go back to sleep. But no, and then we woke up and discussed it and looked at the rationale behind it and why it would work, or why we would do it, and it seemed to make sense. And so then we took it and we just took it step by step, and it worked. Yeah.
I think our science background, both of us are previous scientists for about 25 years. So a lot of our job is looking at sort of what's around you, joining the dots, working with hypotheses, testing hypotheses, writing scientific papers. So it's quite a usual thought process for us, and to bounce ideas and science ideas off us. So this really was almost like a science project of, could you use dung in the making of gin? How would you go about it? How would you produce it? And gathering all those sort of bits together. And then approaching the right people, having the right conversations. And we're very lucky that we did meet Roger Jorgensen, one of the gin masters of South Africa, who believed in it right from the start, and who had been amazing. And when he told him our idea, his face just lit up, and he just said, this is the most innovative, fantastic idea. I will definitely help you make a premium gin, which he did. And then, long story short, we entered the South African Craft Gin Awards. And we were so excited when we were told that we'd won the Double Gold Gin Award, which is the highest accolade. I think it was 16 out of 140 gins. And we've got a few degrees between us, and I must say that was one of the most emotional certificates that I've ever received. I think it's been such an amazing journey for us both to go from this really rather crazy idea to actually something that was on the shelf, that was winning awards, and is now sort of globally recognised.
So what is the distribution now for Indlovu gin?
So we distribute it nationally. So we're in a lot of bottle stores around South Africa, also in restaurants and game lodges. We're in duty free, so we're at Oliver Tambo Airport and we're at Cape Town International. We're also in Namibia, and Namibia duty free. We're in Zimbabwe. We're in Belgium. Going to Germany, we're in Switzerland, so now we're starting to, but it has I think the appeal is, one, that it's elephant dung gin, which is super unusual, but two, 15% of our profits we give back to our African Foundation, and so it's, when people buy the gin, they feel like they're supporting wildlife, which in fact they are. And we have this situation now where our elephants are making the dung that goes into the gin, that then makes money to fund wildlife conservation. So we get this virtuous circle going with the gin as well.
How important to you was that giving back part of the business?
Absolutely fundamental to the whole entire business, really. I used to do some entrepreneurship training with some young adults, so the people that I worked with, they wanted to start businesses to give back to their community. So at the very core of our business, that is the most important thing, really, to be able to give back. And we've recently launched a new pink gin made from prickly pear, again inspired by the elephants, because that's one of their favourite bush delicacies. And again, 15% goes back to that. So obviously the more interest we can gather around the gin, the more that we can then give back into conservation. That's a really key thing to us.
And it was in fact one of the fundamental reasons we moved back from the UK to South Africa, because we felt in the UK it was difficult to do that. Actually, it was difficult to give back. And we just thought that there were opportunities and the need in South Africa was greater. And that it certainly was a decision maker for us to come back, so that we felt we could actually contribute.
How many times a year would you come down to Plessis to collect the elephant dung?
So we come, our need for elephant dung is really driven by obviously the demand for the gin, and summer season it's higher demand, and winter it's lower demand. But I would say roughly we come to Plessis about 3-4 times a year for our dung collection.
How have you found the flavor profile of your gin compares to other types of botanical derived gins?
So of course ours has really a wide variety of botanicals in it, because it's dependent on the elephant's diet, and so we get some buchu, and we get the fruits that are available to the elephants at that season, and we get fynbos, and we get aloe. So we get all these infusions into the gin. It lends itself as quite an earthy, grassy type flavour. It goes extremely well with dark chocolate and coffee. That's where it sits in the flavour wheel. But the unique thing about the gin is that the botanicals are actually going to change depending on the season that we collect the dung, because obviously the available vegetation and the plants is going to differ. And so on the back of our bottles, we have the coordinates of the game reserve we collect the dung from, and we also have the date in which we collected the dung. And so it's going to almost create vintages of gin that you can be able to drink.
So you guys collect your dung here in Plessis, and then where are you based for the distillery process?
So we're based in Paarl, so we take the dung from Plessis and we take it back to Paarl, and there we wash it and we cleanse it and we dry it, and then we infuse, and then you're left with a lovely light, quite very not fluffy is perhaps the wrong word, but botanical, and that's what we infuse. Then we directly infuse that into our gin.
There you go.
Is that fine? Wow. It is really soft.
So it's like
It
being
is, isn't it?
conditioned, like
Yeah.
hair conditioner. It's softened,
Yeah.
isn't it? So I guess the enzymes in the gut will just soften down the material.
I can't believe they're so badly adapted.
Yeah.
Poorly evolved animals.
Yeah. You can't believe an animal that big actually.
Extracts so little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they'll eat 21 hours a day
Wow.
in order to get their sufficient nutrition.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just whole pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. See why you guys can so easy. Well, I don't know how easy the process is, but why this dung
Sometimes
makes
you
it.
can get
Yeah.
a leaf, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they eat prickly pear. Sometimes you get
Yeah.
prickles.
Sometimes you get the prickles from the prickly
I'm
pear.
like, oh,
Yeah.
there's prickles. I don't know how they pass that, but rather them than me.
So where would people be able to buy in Gin?
We keep an up-to-date list of stockists on our website, but in general, you'll be able to get it, as I said, in the duty frees, but you can also get it online at Yuppie Chef, Macro, and Take a Lot as well. So those are nationwide distributors. Norman Goodfellas as well, that's correct.
So how long has the business been going on for?
We bottled our first gin last November, so it's just over a year now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is an amazing expansion for such a young business.
It's been a roller coaster, it really has, and the learning curve has been enormous because, as Paula said, neither of us come from that background. We're both from academia, and so learning business as well as the spirits, it's been daunting, but it's been worthwhile.
And it's been a team effort
Oh,
all the
Yes.
way.
totally, yeah. We certainly have the strengths. So I'm sort of marketing and social media and you make it
Creativity.
happen. And the
Yeah.
creativity. And then when it gets to more the paperwork and the finances and the logistics and really making it happen, then
Yeah.
Les is the one that has actually made this happen. I had the idea, but you made it happen. So it's been a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.